Now I think we're live there. Welcome along, everyone. I'm just going to set up. Hopefully you can hear me there now. I can't see any comments, but hopefully that's working okay. And let me just block that light out a bit there. I'm careful maneuvering. That should block the light a little bit. Now, so you're very welcome along to the class today. I'm just going to set up my stream on Facebook, and my trusty jar here to set that up. Okay, so now you're very welcome along to the class. And let's just go live now on Gym with Shane. And we will start that. Okay. Now, let's see if I have that in there. Okay, very welcome along to class today. And today's session is a chair gym, so I am leading from the seated position. All you need, just have a good sturdy chair and a bottle of water at the ready, as always, useful to have. So just make sure a couple tune in there. So just giving a minute as ever, just to let everyone tune in. We're back there. Sorry if it jumped a bit there. So my name is Shane. I've delivered a couple of these classes, so you're probably familiar with me. And if not, you're very welcome along. As I'd always say with these movements, any movement that causes pain, that doesn't feel comfortable, please do just leave that exercise out. You don't want to persist if a movement is causing pain or just doesn't feel comfortable. So we're going to get started going with the warm-up and just slowly building up. So, and as ever, I do appreciate the comments as we go. So thanks very much for those. So let's get started. Just quickly checking. Great stuff. Everything working there. Perfect. So let's get started. Warming up first. So I'm just going to go very slowly first just to build up. Just tap right hand to left shoulder, left hand over to right. So I'm just getting the arms moving a little bit, tapping across to each shoulder. So just very welcome along. If you're just tuning in, just going to slowly start building up. Just tapping across, hand to the opposite shoulder. A little bit of movement. And from there, I'm going to fold the arms and just rotate my body to the left. Head goes with the movement. And rotate my body to the right. So I'm just slowly going left and right. Just getting a little bit of movement as I go along. So just rotating from side to side. Again, whatever movement I comfortably can. And once more in each direction. And down. Perfect. Straightening my arms out. I'm going to have the palms of the hands face each other. I just want to gently raise my right arm up and then to gently raise my left arm. So I'm just going as high as is comfortable. I'm going overhead because that feels okay for my shoulder. If it doesn't, I want you only to raise as high as is comfortable. Just getting different parts of the body moving. Just kind of easing your way into the movements here. Just raising that right arm. And left arm. Perfect. From there, arms down by my side. I want to gently raise the shoulders up and back down. So just a nice gentle shrug of the shoulders. I don't want to go too harshly with this motion. Just nice and controlled, lifting the shoulders up, getting a little bit of movement. Always think, I might come a little bit closer actually. Just think separating the shoulders from the rest of your body here with this one. Just lifting the shoulders up and back down. Perfect. Now, from there, I'm just going to bring hands onto my legs and slowly stretch down. See how I'm trying not to bend too harshly here. I just gently tilt my body forwards and then straightening back up. So I don't need to go too far, just nice and gentle as I lean forward and coming back up. And once more, and back down. Okay, from there, hands together, elbows raised. And again, I just want to bring another rotation in, over to the right and over to the left, just to get a little bit of movement, right and left. Think of your upper body moving here and just going as far as you are comfortable with, rotating right and left. I always allow my head to kind of flow with the movement, and with any kind of rotation, I like to go nice and slow, that I don't go really fast from side to side, just a nice smooth rotation, side to side. And back down. Perfect. Now, just to get the legs moving next, so I'm just lifting the knees up. Just starting the march, just bringing the heart rate up a little bit, warming myself up. Just getting the legs moving. Hopefully it's nicer than what it is out here for me. It's lashing out there. Hopefully it's a little bit nicer wherever you're tuned in from. Now, next, to just lightly extend the legs out, right and left. Just getting the legs moving, right, left. Just keeping that one flowing, extending the legs out. And then returning back to a nice controlled march. Just right knee up, left knee up. Just keeping myself moving, lifting one knee up at a time. I should say as well, I'm nice and tall in my chair. I'm not hunched, so I always kind of strengthen that position or raise that position up, nice and tall. And once more, just extending the legs out in front, right and left. Just keeping my body moving, extending the legs out. Now, next, I just want to switch on the hips a little bit because we do a lot of work on the hips typically in these sessions. So I'm just straightening my right leg out, open to the sides, back and front. Again, with a movement like this, I don't want to go very harsh. I just want to go nice and smooth, opening the leg out a couple of inches. I don't need to go really far to a point where my body would turn. Body should stay straight as I lift that right leg out to the sides. And back in. Left leg out, open to the side and back in front. So just nice and controlled, opening that left leg out to the sides. Keeping my foot up off the floor, keeping the legs straight as I open out to the sides. Last couple, and back down. Now, finally, just to get those feet moving next, what I want to do is bring my right foot up. This is version I sometimes like to just hold on to the knee, just give me a little bit of support. I might come a bit closer and just slowly bring the foot around in circles. And I'm trying to go nice and slowly with this one. I don't want to go really fast. I want to go slow and controlled, around in circles. And then if I just think about changing direction, and again, I'm keeping this slow. That is the challenge on this one. We naturally want to speed, but I go nice and slow, getting as much movement as I can, drawing big circles with my toes. Okay, so big circles. And back down, swapping over to your left foot. So I'm holding my knee gently, drawing circles with my foot. So big circles. I continue just going around in circles, nice and slow. And then changing direction. Again, keeping this one nice and slow. And this is just one part I do like to slow down and give a little bit of attention to the ankle before any workout. And down. Perfect. So that's our warm-up finished. I want to progress and continue into some of our main movements. Sometimes I like to mix these up. I want to go for a couple of supersets today. So I'll put a couple of movements together and work for a block of time. Again, I'm not really, I don't have counting reps or anything like that, just to get lots of repetitions. And we'll just maybe time a few of them down. Afternoon, Sylvia. Great to have you with us. So first movement, what I want to do is put one hand on top of the other. So you see I'm not too tight. I'm going to have the arms out. One hand rests on top of the other. And think of my right elbow. I want to drive that right elbow just up over the shoulder. So I think in a slightly diagonal plane, driving my right elbow back. I think up over the shoulder. Again, everyone is slightly different. I want you to work in a range of movement that feels good, not that feels painful. So I don't want to go too harsh on the movement as ever. We'll just go nice and controlled. Just kind of think slowly driving that elbow back in a slightly diagonal direction. So you'll see up over the shoulder, if that makes sense. Just slowly driving the elbow back, and I'm just leading with my right elbow. So I might feel a little connection with my upper body here, maybe in your back of the shoulder. You might feel a little bit of movement. It might feel quite nice in that position. Pause the motion. Next, I want you to lead with your left elbow. Same hand position, but now I drive my left elbow. And I like to break a movement like this down. I think it can get a little bit messy if we go from side to side. So I just think it's nice sometimes to focus on one direction, i.e. driving my elbow to the left and just seeing how that feels. One side might feel a little bit tighter than the other. Again, I don't want to be too dramatic and drive the elbow way up to the ceiling. I just think slightly raised as I drive the elbow back. And I can just gently turn my head with the motion. Again, we're not really setting any time, just a couple of reps on each side, a good couple of reps. And back down. So just rest the arms down. Excellent on that one. Next, pairing that with a chest movement. So I sit nice and tall, arms by my side. So if there's arms in your chair, just bring the arms outside, clench the hands together, and just press through. You'll see how my hands just merge together here. So I'm pressing from my chest. So my position goes from wide to narrow. My hands don't need to go above chest height. And I just think pushing through, pressing through, getting a little squeeze, connection with my chest. That's all I want. If I can feel a little bit of an tension, connection with my chest, and that's good with this one. So I'm just pressing through. And as I say, those hands naturally merging together as I push through. Another couple of reps here. We'll get maybe two more. And last one, and rest, okay? Excellent work. So a little bit of kind of back of the body, think shoulder / back. People might feel a little bit differently, and then trying to connect a little bit with your chest. So let's try those two movements again. So again, I'm going to sit nice and tall, place one hand on top of the other, and driving my right elbow slightly diagonal here. So again, just driving my elbow up, and I allow my head just to gently move with the rotation. I don't want the rest of my body to stay too rigid here. So again, just driving that elbow up, but nice and slow. Again, working in a range of movement that feels good. If going up kind of high like this feels tough, maybe you just want to keep it much more lower like so, just turning to the side, and that's fine. If you can, slightly diagonal with that direction. Just driving the elbow up. I get one more. And back down. Maintain that position, one hand on top. And now just drive left elbow back. So again, that left elbow, gently pushing back. You might get a little connection. Thinking any kind of tightness around the upper body, back of your shoulder. Upper back. I'm just trying to get a little bit of connection here as I drive my elbow back. And again, I'm not too fast, just a nice steady motion. Elbow pushing back and rest down. Excellent work. Chest again. Again, I reset my position nice and tall, arms by my side, clench the hands and just press through. I'm just pressing the arms forward, hands merging together here. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a connection with my chest and just sweeping or pressing through. Hands go from wide to narrow. I don't need to push above chest height. I'm just going to finish up a top position roughly at chest height with the hands naturally merging together. So the last couple of repetitions here. And down. Excellent. Okay, super work there. Okay, so moving into a next movement. Yes, we're going to go down to lower body. So we did upper body. Now let's do a little bit on the hips and also on the calves, a little movement from the ankle. So set up for this one. This is one we've tried before. I want to clench my two hands and place them between my knees. So that's a kind of fixed position. My hands just wedged between the two knees. From this position, I want to lift my right leg out to the side and then lift my left leg. So think of your foot lifting off the floor and then back down. Movement-wise, this is very small. We are not going to get that foot way up off the floor at all. It's going to be a very small range of movement, and that's all we expect here. I'm going to allow a good block of time for you to just kind of get a feeling and try this one out. Not to be hard on ourselves at all if we think it's very limited or we struggle to get any movement here. Whatever movement you can comfortably achieve in this position. You'll see, just looking at me, that it's very limited. The purpose of this is movement control from your hip. So the hip is what's really active on this one. And I just lift the leg out to the side, one at a time. And I'm keeping those hands fixed because without that, it might just get a little bit messy. I might lose some of that connection with my hip. This just keeps the position locked in as I go side to side. And down, okay? Much more straightforward now. Just relax the hands, walk the feet back in a little bit. Just going to move my laptop down just a touch there so we can see that. Now down to my feet, lifting the heels up. Okay? So standard heel raise here. I'm getting movement in my ankles and I'm connecting with the back of my lower legs. So thinking of our calf, back of the lower legs, just working the muscle in that position. Heels lifting up. And we're going to do this with a couple of pauses along the way as well. So keep the heels up. Keep that position elevated. Hold for a couple of seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then again, lifting the heels up. Straight up off the ground. Bringing the heels up. Again, we'll do a little pause. And hold. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So I'm going to reset. I'm going to try those two movements again. So again, I reset nice and tall in my chair. Hands clenched, placed between my knees. And I just kind of lock that position in. So I'm going to hold this position. Lift my right foot out to the side. Lift my left foot out. And everything is kind of stuck in position here. So that hip is going to do all the work in terms of movement. So that's where I'm really trying to connect with, is my hip. The lift to the right and lift to the left. Okay? So whatever range of movement we can achieve here, any movement at all, as we lift side to side, right and left. Keeping hands between knees, opening out to the sides, one at a time. And again, I'm allowing lots of time. I don't want to say 10 reps because I think it takes a little bit of time to connect with, to get a little bit of feeling with this. And you might need to adjust, kind of play around with the position a little bit before you start to get the connection. That's why I like typically to go with quite high repetitions on these sessions where I'm not really kind of counting them. I just do lots until I feel a good connection. So another few here. Let's do maybe one more on each side. Right leg, left leg. Brilliant stuff there. Bring it back to heel raises. So I might walk the feet back a little bit. My toes are straight ahead. They're hip width. And I start lifting my heels up. Again, a movement like this, it's very easy to kind of go through really fast if I just kind of exaggerate here without feeling anything. Really high up onto your toes, back down. Think of a 1 or 2 second pause every time you lift those heels up. And I want you to think about getting as high as you possibly can onto your toes. You see, it's very easy to kind of switch off and just kind of bounce up, down, and not feel very much. I want to feel the back of my lower legs and get a good range of movement from the ankles. So then get up as high as you possibly can, right up onto your tippy toes. Think, how high can I get up onto my toes with this one? And then we're going to pause. So keep that position as high as I can. Keep a little bit of tension there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. And just get back into a little bit of movement. Heels up. Again, nice and high as I can up onto the toes. Really lifting those heels up. And then pause. Again, stay in that position. Back of the legs active. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Okay, and relax it out. So quick drink of water if you need. Just going to readjust. And what have we got next? So we've got a little bit of a hands clench and heel toe taps. Perfect. So reset, nice and tall. Just want to have the arms out in front. And what I want to do from this position is open the hands up and then clench and squeeze, open, and then close and clench. So I want a little bit of tension as I squeeze the hands. I open the fingers nice and wide, spread the hands out, and then close, clench. From the side, you'll see just that I'm keeping the arms out, and then clench nice and hard. A little bit of tension, a little bit of a squeeze, and then open out. So again, clench, a nice little squeeze. I feel a little bit of connection here, maybe in through that forearm, and then open out. Clench, squeeze, hold for a couple of seconds, and open out, spread apart. Once again, squeeze and clench, and open out. Okay, brilliant. I'm going to demonstrate this next one from the side. If you can't see, just remember to swipe across to the right if you're watching on your phone, that you can see these movements. What I want to do is lift my right foot up off the floor. And what I want to do is just tap the heel down and then tap the toes. So heel, toes. So it's heel and then toes. So again, this is another way to kind of connect with the lower part of my body, thinking movement around the ankle and maybe connecting a little bit with the back of my leg here as well. Instead of just doing heel toe points or up off the floor, maybe just a slightly different way to get a little bit of movement here. I'm just going to keep going nice and long as ever. Lots of repetitions, giving you a chance to kind of explore this movement, get a feel for what way works for you. Heel, toes, heel, toes. And I like the way we can get that movement of the foot, heel, toes. As much movement as you can. So if it feels tight, stiff, think how important this is in terms of walking, that our foot has movement, so it's not stiff and tight. So I'm getting as much movement as I can. And down. Swap. Let's go over to the opposite side. Little swivel. Just make sure I'm in shot there. Same idea with left. Lift my foot up. Dig the heel. Tap the toes. Dig the heel. Tap the toes. Again, this might start kind of tight, a little bit blocky. You might find this actually quite hard. But as you go along, you'll find that foot starts to open up a little bit. You get a little bit more movement as you go along. And again, I just think dig the heel, tap the toes. And as I go along, I start to get more and more range, flex, and stretch from that foot. Okay. So again, dig the heel, tap the toes. And we're doing lots and lots of repetitions here. I find a movement like this, 5, 10 reps, we're not going to get much from it. We start to push a bit higher. We start to open up a little bit more and get a better connection. Again, heel, toes. Let's keep going. Another couple of repetitions. Feeling that now. And back down. Super work, okay? So, back to our kind of grip strength again. So, reset, nice and tall. Arms out in front, hands up. You'll see, spread the fingers apart. Clench and hold, squeeze, a little bit of tension, maybe even a little bit of shake in the arms, that's okay. And then spread apart. Squeeze and clench, spread apart. squeeze, clench, spread apart, and we continue like that. I do put a little bit of power into that squeeze, so I do think physically clenching here, a little bit of a shake in the arm and up. I feel that along the forearm a little bit here as I clench, spread apart, squeeze, spread apart. Let's do maybe 2 more. And once more, squeeze and spread apart and down. Brilliant. Even the breaths there, a little bit of challenge on that one. So moving back to our heel toe taps, I think working the back of the leg, might feel the back and the front of the leg a little bit here. Right foot up, dig the heel down, tap the toes, heel, toes. So we just want to go between those 2 positions, heel and toes. And we'll continue on like that. And again, should start to open up, especially after that first round on this one. So heel, toes, continuing on. And really high with the reps. I don't know, we're thinking 20, 30 repetitions here, just giving you a good chance to connect with this motion. Again, you're getting lots of nice movements from the ankle, digging the heel, tapping the toes. Might feel a little connection back of the leg in your calf on this one too. Maybe even a little pull along the front of the leg as well. Let's keep going. Heel, toes. Another couple of reps here. Promise last couple. I'm enjoying this one. And down. Excellent. Okay. Hopefully you're enjoying that one as much as I am anyway. Left foot up. Again, just kind of set your position. Dig the heel. Tap the toes. Heel, toes. So let's just go between those 2 positions. Again, just opening out around the ankle, the foot, lots of movements. Think about how important our feet are. First thing we do when we're up in the morning, onto our feet. So lots of movements, strength around the ankle, the foot, those lower limbs, keeping them strong. Likes of our calf here, very important. Again, lots and lots of reps here. Going to keep this one flowing. Heel, toes, lots and lots of repetitions. Let's keep it going. And might start to feel a little kind of strain. I might feel a little bit tired on the back of the leg with this one. And last couple of reps. And down. Absolute brilliant. Okay, that was great work. Really well done on those. Hope you're enjoying these little supersets today. As I sometimes like to mix up the style a little bit and just put little pairings together like this. Kind of give you a chance to kind of connect and retry movements and just, I suppose, really connect with them. Next one I want to do, this can be nice, a couple of points to this one. It can be really nice on the lower back. It can be nice on the glute. It can be nice on the hip. So as ever with a lot of these movements, people may feel different things, get different benefits, but we'll just see how we go with this one. So what I want to do is sit nice and upright in my chair with a little bit of support here and sit back. What I want to do is lift my right knee up and raise into my chest. Hold for a couple of seconds and then pull the arms back. I'm going to puff the chest out and then reset to the left. So again, I raise my knee up, high as comfortable, hold for a couple of seconds and then pull the arms back. So there's a little couple of points to this one, so let's keep it slow and not too fast. Right knee up, raise the knee up as high as comfortable, so I can feel a nice stretch, maybe lower back, glute, hip. And then I open the arms out, open out that position, and I puff the chest out, nice squeeze of the shoulder blades, and then back. I'm just going to hold on to that left knee, raise up, a couple of seconds, and pull back. And I'm just keeping those arms kind of high here because I know people may have an arm of the chair that's kind of blocking this movement. So I'm keeping the arms roughly by my sides. Knee up and gently raise the knee. If I started to do this one really fast, I mightn't get the same connection, the feeling that I want with this movement. So I'm doing it nice and slow. Pull back, taking the time to open up, squeezing shoulder blades together. And then left knee up, gently raise. Let's hold position. So I'll make sure that it's the case of the knee lifts up rather than me bending forward. and then pull back. Open up that chest, squeeze shoulder blades. Let's try one more per leg. Right knee up, raising my knee up, and then open the arms out. Squeezing shoulder blades, that should feel quite nice. And then over to my left side, bringing the knee up, raise up. Just going to hold that position. And then open out. Nice squeeze of the shoulder blades. And back down. Brilliant. Hopefully, again, enjoyed that one. Just going to pair that with another upper body movement. And again, this is one I would kind of break it down and do really slow. This can be performed really fast without really feeling anything. So a little bit of control again here. Nice and tall. Hands at the side of my head, roughly on my ears. And what I want to do is gently tilt my body to the left. I'm going to reset. And then to the right. Reset. So you'll see how I just pause myself in the central position. If I just briefly demonstrate, what I avoid is just kind of harshly turning side to side. So again, break it down. Left, middle, and right. Now, people tend to, we just think of this, but we also should think about stretching this position. So it's not just a case of crunching your side. You're also kind of lengthening or stretching the opposite side. So this is a nice upper body movement. And also we can work the sides of our body, obliques, or just think part of your core, just keeping it strong. But again, I want to keep this one slow. I want you to work in a range that feels good. So I don't want you to kind of crunch too much here. I want you to stay in a range that is good for you, that feels good. And down. So probably not going quite as high on those two, but that's good work. So let's pair those two movements together one more time. Just kind of loosen out a little bit there if you need. Just roll the shoulders maybe. Take a little bit of a reset. Roll the shoulders back. And let's go again one more time. So sitting back into my chair, if we remember, lifting the right knee, holding on and raising up as high as comfortable. Couple of seconds. Holding the movement. And then pull back. Open out those arms. Squeezing shoulder blades together. And then over to the left. And I really do want to just take my time. Left knee up. Staying here for a couple of seconds. And then bringing the arms back. Squeezing shoulder blades. You can even hear my voice. I'm expanding my chest. And then reset. Holding my right knee. Raising up. Couple of seconds. And then open, squeezing shoulder blades. And then again, left knee. So maybe just do 2, 3 more each side. Let's go with that same nice control. Hold. And then again, right knee. Raise up and hold. Don't be too hard on yourself again if this is difficult. It's not easy to bring that knee up. So in reality, it might be much lower down, and that's fine. Build it up slow. And pull back. And again, left knee. And that's why I do this one slow. So the slower I start with a movement like this, the more movement I can safely achieve. If I try and go really quickly into these positions, I might feel a little bit sore. Whereas if I just gently go into these positions, it'll feel much better. So let's get 2 more. Right knee, hold and raise. And pull back. And once more on that left side. Hold on to that knee. Raise up. Hold for a couple of seconds. And pull back. And rest. Brilliant again. Really good stuff. Reset position. Okay, nice and tall. Again, I just want to bring those hands roughly to the side of the head if that feels comfortable. And I want to gently tilt to the left, my elbow, reset, and then to the right. So again, just kind of really do want to keep this as a nice controlled action. I don't want to go really fast between the sides. I just pause in the middle and then the opposite way. Just down to the left and to the right. broken up with a little bit of a pause and reset in the middle every time. Excellent. Last couple of reps. Breathing all the time, never holding my breath on an exercise. One more time. Left and right. And back down, okay? So that's our little blocks of supersets done. I might just add a little bit of coordination because that was all kind of, we were in the zone there, working hard. A little bit of fun with these next ones in that you have to think a little bit and work the brain a little bit with these ones. And I always say there's no pressure. It doesn't matter if they go a little bit wrong in terms of the movement pattern. So what I want to do, very simple first. I'm going to bring my two hands up. I want to press my right arm to the side and my left arm forward. And then do the opposite. Okay, so I think one arm pushes to the side, one arm pushes forward. So again, just that you have to concentrate, focus a little bit. You have to kind of put your brain to work on this one. Nice pattern of just pressing front and side. So a nice open press. We're just doing those two different motions together. One forward, one arm to the side. Okay. And just kind of after that last kind of nice blocks of work we did before this, we don't need to be in the zone quite as much. We just have to think a little bit. And again, not to be too hard on ourselves if these movements aren't perfect. Just get as close as we can to that movement pattern. And once more. And down. Brilliant. Next movement, what I want to do is one for the legs. So what I want to do is lift my right leg to the side, back in, and left knee up. So right leg to the side, left knee up. So I'm just going with that pattern. My right leg opens to the side, so I work the hip, and then I flex and lift the knee up. So again, it's just a different action for each leg. In both cases, working the hip, but in a different pattern. As I open this one up, I'm working the side as I abduct, and then I flex or lift the knee up. So just two different functions of the hip in a sense. We'll think of it like that. And I continue on. And reset. Now I want to lift my left leg out and the right knee up. So left leg out, right knee up. And again, I don't need to lift too far. Just nice and controlled, not dragging the foot. And then as high as I can comfortably lift that knee. I'm just holding the hands clenched together because that feels comfortable to me. But whatever feels comfortable to you. Side of the chair, whatever feels good. I think it just helps me concentrate when I'm getting these two different movements. And let's just continue. And once more, okay? I'm just going to do one or two last ones, just a little at the wrist. Nice way to get a little bit of movement at the wrist and having a little bit of coordination in here as well. So what I want to do is bring my arms out, turn one hand, which is my right, up to face the ceiling. Left hand faces the floor. And then I want to swap between those two positions. So one hand is up to the ceiling, one is down to the floor. And I just swap between the two. So you get a nice rotation. And also having to think a little bit. We're keeping one hand up, one hand down. And we'll just continue on like that. We'll build up on this now in a second. And pause. Now, what I want to do is flatten the two hands. So palms of the hands face down to the floor. Raise the right hand, lower the left, and swap. So you can see that position. One hand raises, one hand lowers. So just two different things. Flex, extend. Each hand doing something different from the wrist. One hand up, one hand down. Okay. And having to think a little bit. One hand up, one hand down. And then I'm going to throw one last little curveball in at us here. Might zoom in a bit. Hands up, okay? Clench the right hand so the fingers are all together. Left hand are open. And then open the right hand, close the left. Spread the fingers and close on the other hand. So again, it's just to get a little bit of control, movement from the fingers. And not to be too hard on ourselves, honestly. I know some people are probably looking at me funny looks. Don't blame you, but just think a little bit. Just have to focus, working the brain a little bit on this one and getting really nice, fine control of the fingers of one hand. Separate and close. And down. Okay, that's brilliant. As I said, not to be too hard on ourselves on that one. So, a couple of stretches, relax the body down. And we really did a lot of brilliant work there. So, well done, everyone, so far. A couple of stretches, as I said. So, we did do a lot of work down around the ankles. So, let's stretch them out. We'll do this one leg per time because we did do a lot of work down there today. Point the toes of your right foot forward. Just going to stretch that position out and hold for a couple of seconds here. So I'm just stretched out, pointing the toes forward, maintaining that position. And then the opposite, pull the toes back in towards your body. So toes into your body. Let's hold that stretch. Kind of stretching out my calf here. And rest down. Let's swap it up. Left leg out. Point the toes forward away from your body. Let's hold that stretch. Keep it going. Toes pointed forward. My leg is out. Nice long stretch. And then let's do the opposite. Pull the toes back in towards your body. Stretching out that calf. Back of my lower leg. A couple of seconds longer. Let's keep it going. And down. Brilliant stuff. Bring it back in. Next one, this is a hamstring. I don't know what I should stay by the side. Apologies, I'm always jumping around. Sit forward a little bit in your chair. Straighten your right leg. So I'm resting on my heel. My upper body is tall. I'm going to rest my hands down. And this is one I want to go slow. I don't want to shoot forward. I just gently start to tilt my body forward. Just to see if I can get a little bit of a stretch on the back of that straightened right leg. If I were to shoot forward fast, I would suddenly feel it and I might feel a little bit sore. So very slowly tilting forward. A couple of seconds and then back in. Let's try the same on the left. Setup is important. Straighten the left leg, you're on your heel. Upper body is tall, rest the hands. And slowly tilt forward. Again, I don't need to go very far until I feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of the leg here. Feel a little stretch there, and I'm going to hold. And then bringing it back in. Perfect. I'll sit right back into my chair. I'm going to open out, maybe stretch out that chest after some of the work we did. Arms across chest. Pull back nice and wide. Just open that position. And hold the hands up. Another couple of seconds. Let's just maintain. Hold on to this position. And then relax back in. And once more. Open the arms out nice and wide. Open out that chest. Let's hold that position. Stretching out the chest. Good long hold. And back in. Perfect. And rest down. Stretching out, we'll go a little bit on the shoulders next. How we'll do this one, I'll turn to my sides. What I want to do is nice and straight, arms by my side, just lightly pull back as far as I can. And just bring myself in shot a bit better there. Just bring the arms back as far as comfortable. And let's hold on to this position. Just think stretching out your shoulders. And relax back down. Again, keeping my arms straight. Pull back without kind of moving my upper body. My upper body stays straight. And I bring the arms back from my shoulders. In a couple of seconds. And down. Excellent work. Upper back. So what I want to do is bring fingers together. If that's difficult, put one hand on top of the other. Push the arms straight out from your chest and hold that position. So arms straightened out from chest. I'm going to hold. Nice long stretch. And back in. And once more, just briefly how that looks from the sides. Pressing out in front. Just straightening the arms out. Holding my position. Stretching my upper body, holding that position, and rest down. Brilliant. So, very simple, just to finish off. I want to take a little bit of breathing. So just think, nice big deep breath in through your nose, and a nice slow exhale out the mouth. So I'm just slowing out the breathing on the way out, slowing it right down. Inhale, and slowly exhale. And again, inhale. Nice slow exhale. And 2 to finish. One more time. Okay, so that's our workout finished from today. Brilliant stuff, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed those movements. Got a good level of challenge. Whatever amount of that you did, really well done. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. So brilliant work, and thanks very much for tuning in. Well done, everyone on Facebook there. Well done, everyone on YouTube. Hopefully that stream was okay. Brilliant work.